This is Biscuit. He is a miniature English cream, long-haired dachshund if you like, and he is 18 months old and, a little bit stinky. A little bit stinky today, Biscuit, not gonna lie. So firstly for this project, Biscuit, yes, for you, I need to work out how I'm gonna get him to be completely still with enough separation between himself and the background in order to make editing later in post a bit easier for me. My initial ideas are to have him on a dark background, and I think I'm going to use a macro lens to get really close-up, crisp shots of him. I don't really mind about what the ISO is going to be because, in a way, having a bit of digital noise in a photograph kind of helps when you're trying to make it look a bit... Did you like that? When you're trying to make it look a little bit rough around the edges and a little bit gritty, grungy cyberpunk. The difficulty is going to be getting you to be a good model because you're a difficult biscuit boy sometimes, aren't you? Montage of barking. Look at you, covered in soil. No, can't come in covered in soil. Absolutely not. Are you in a funny mood? Yeah. Stinky Biscuit barks. But you're a good boy, aren't you? What a good boy you are. You're so smelly. Okay, first of all, the supermodel needs a bath. Right, now that Mr. Biscuits is all lovely and clean, today's video would not be possible without the Cinepeer C100 RGB cinema light kindly gifted to me by Shiyun. The C100 is a beast of a portable light. It gives you over 30,000 RGB color options with 18 built-in lighting effects, a whopping 100 watt power and 3,870 lux brightness output at 1 meter with a 54-minute battery life at full power brightness. You can even power the C100 by USB-C or by DC in, and it has a built-in cooling system making it perfect for extended photo shoots. The C100 comes with this real premium travel carry case. Jiyun have very kindly provided me with an affiliate link and a discount code in the description if you'd like to grab your own Cinepeer C100. Today I'm going to be using it at around 15% brightness on the color fade setting. I'm going to set the hues to a deep blue and a warm pink for that really classic cyberpunk combination. I'm currently in a temporary living arrangement right now, and that means that all my main studio backdrops and setups are in storage. But because Biscuit is only a tiny little biscuit boy, instead of setting up a large studio space, I'm actually going to be using something I already have at home. I'm going to use a black textured dressing gown as my main backdrop, resting against the sofa in my living room. I know, right? We've got budget today, girlies. Here you can see my hideous drawing of Biscuit. It's terrible, but it's always a good idea to plan a shoot like this beforehand. The sofa's going to provide a strong artificial infinity wall style backdrop, and draped with my black dressing gown, it will do exactly what I need it to for this shoot. I've positioned the entire area with natural light spilling in from behind me through diffused blinds. That means my whole area will have a soft all over brightness. If this were in studio, I would set up a very soft loop lighting configuration for this shoot. I'm going to place the C100 on the left-hand side of the shoot, and I'm going to adjust the light shutters as needed to direct the light onto the right side of Biscuit as he looks straight out at me, and I'll be using my R8 to take these pictures. But Biscuit will absolutely need some bribery in this situation in order to perform nicely for this photo shoot. So I think I'm going to use his current toy, and look at this turtle, look at it. It has no arms or legs left, but he still utterly loves it. Ideally, for the outcome of this part, I want a range of well-lit Biscuit poses to give me maximum options in the final edit, which I'm going to be doing in Photoshop. So, let's begin. This is entirely accurate to the kind of gremlin that I look like when I'm in the editing studio. I have been outside today in the rain and I'm absolutely just mortified at the absolute state of the British summer. It's gone, it's dead, it never even was here to start with. So a huge thank you to my friend Callum, who was recently in South Korea and managed to take some gorgeous photos of a little neighborhood called Luxeria. I believe it's called that anyway, please be nice with my pronunciation. So pulling up some of the pictures that he has taken, there is this particularly famous street that has that really typically classic kind of cyberpunk colour scheme, which goes very well with the kind of photos that I've taken of Biscuit. So if we scroll through a little bit, I do quite want to mark some. I think we'll have that one. Scrolling through, oh, that's quite iconic, isn't it? I'm trying to also think of where I could place Biscuit in this image in order for it to make sense. Like, are all of these people pointing at Biscuit, perhaps? Maybe, yes, maybe they are, actually. Let's do that. Okay, we'll flag that one. I do feel like I can tweak the lighting a little bit, but first of all, I want to select the ones that I want. So, that's a particularly iconic scene. That has all the hallmarks of everything cyberpunk that we would want. So let's tickety-boo. I do want some with some ground in as well, because I feel like that's a really useful place to put Biscuit. I kind of like the darker, more mysterious. I feel like that would be a lot easier to blend with the background that I had for Biscuit. We're gonna pick this one so these people can be gossiping about Biscuit. I will say though, if you don't have access to your very own Callum, who can go to South Korea and take beautiful scenery shots for you, you can use something like Pixabay, which is a royalty-free resource photo website, kind of a bit like Shutterstock, but there's no fees involved. So now it's time to select some images of Biscuit. So I purposefully made the lighting for Biscuit's photos quite dark, as you've already seen a few that I spliced in on the actual photo shoot. I did use a high shutter speed as well to try and freeze him in space so that he's got very crisp outlines. I do like to take all of my pictures in RAW, but I also like to take JPEGs at the same time, just so I can sort of see what my camera decides is the ideal edit afterwards, and I can completely ignore it if I choose to. As you can see, the C100 has done exactly what I want, projected that really strong, colourful light onto one side of Biscuit. This is going to make him blend into the scene perfectly. I would like to pick this one, but I don't know if it's sharp enough on the outside, and he does have his little foot. Oh, why is my computer going slow? Love that. He does have his little foot on the outside of the dark background. I wonder if that will be a problem, or if I can make it like he's in the alleyway. Maybe I will flag that one just to see. I'd love a few with his little toy in as well, almost like people are like, oh no, oh my goodness me, there's a giant monster and he's eating a turtle. Storyline, we love a storyline, see? Surprisingly, taking pet pictures of them doing stuff is difficult. Oh, I kind of like this one. He's got a little bit of blue on him and he's kind of almost winking at us. Maybe I'll mark that one as well. Oh, I love that one. Look at all that pink on him. I do. There's something about the color pink. I do love it. I know we've also got some red ones in here somewhere, but do I want the red ones? I'm not entirely sure if I like the red. I don't know if it just disrupts the vibe a little bit. Oh, I adore that one. Look at him giving side-eye attitude. Absolutely love that. Okay, I think I've pretty much selected all of the images that I want. So what we're gonna do now is see what we actually have selected, because I have a feeling. Yeah, look at that. Okay, what have we got? What can we get rid of? That one is nice. Is he entirely in shot, like in focus? I don't know why my Lightroom is being so laggy today. Very unsavory behavior. This computer is far too much of a beast for all that. So firstly, I'm going to do some brief color adjustments just to make sure that he can stand out from the background perfectly. So I want to keep the black sections really dark. So now comes the fun part. I'm going to edit it in Photoshop and use some of the tools over there to select him and start thinking about composition in our other images. So, utilizing an entire plethora of knowledge I have gained over years and years and years of Photoshop use, to achieve this look, I utilized masking within Lightroom and also Photoshop to help really increase the vibrancy of that cyberpunk pink and blue hue. With this first edit, I've tried to incorporate a little bit of humor, almost like Biscuit is emerging from this building on the right to interrupt this group of people's conversations. I also used multi-layer techniques to make sure that Biscuit blended in with his surroundings and didn't look exactly out of place, despite suddenly appearing as a 7-foot-tall dachshund emerging from a building somewhere in South Korea. When creating a composite image like this, I always feel like adding a little bit of grain or noise in and a cinematic black mist style glow to the lights really helps suspend the viewer's belief that this isn't in fact a real scene, and it almost gives it that 80s Blade Runner style look. The second edit that I did was a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. I'm not entirely sure if you can even really see what I was going for here. In the bottom right hand corner you can clearly see this woman pointing up at this building, and I just sort of thought, wouldn't it be amusing if I put that little image of Biscuit with the blue hue on him on top of that little building as if she's pointing directly at him. As I say, I'm not sure this specific edit works as well as I would like it to, but let's look at how these final pieces turned out. This one is my favourite. I feel like it could be a sort of silly little show poster of some sort, and I would love to have it printed in my house. So there we have it, my lovelies. Biscuit has been transported into a cyberpunk fantasy. Once again, I want to say a huge thank you to Jiyun for gifting me the C100. A fun little project like this would have not been possible without it. Let me know which of the Biscuit edits is your favourite, and with that, I'll see you in the next one.
What a star! That's a wrap, Biscuit! That's a wrap! Well done! Good boy. That's it.